This is Rob Tebbutt for ID Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Chris Billam-Smith. We're here in freezing cold Bournemouth after a spectacular fifth round stoppage win over Xhoxhaj. Chris, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, got there in the end.
You got there in the end. Naturally, being a Chris Billam-Smith fight, there were a few bumps along the way, I suppose. Let's start with some of the bumps. The second round, how hurt were you when he caught you with that right hand?
No, it buzzed me for a split second, and then I was all right, and I even nodded and just to show Shane and Josh in the corner that I know I've made a mistake there and acknowledge it. Shane was aware of that. So yeah, it was just lapse in concentration, and something that I can't afford to do. So another lesson learnt.
What was the mistake? What are your recollections of that second round?
I was just a bit too lax in my concentration. You've got to be switched on for 3 minutes of every round, and I wasn't. We knew he was dangerous, winging over the top. His style was, he moves his head, he comes in with his head low and wings over the top, and sometimes you can look at the target too much, and you can't see the shot coming, or his head coming if you're looking at the cut. But that was it really, just a lapse in concentration.
Now, a lot of people going into this fight didn't know an awful lot about Xhoxhaj. Of course, his fight with Matthias Masternak was he came and he went and he walked into a shot. It was tonight what you expected from him? Did it go kind of how you thought it would?
Yeah, it went exactly the same as pretty much the Masternak fight, really. He did well against Masternak. He troubled him. But Masternak's, world class operator, been there for years, probably got twice as many knockouts as I've had fights. So yeah, he went very, very, very similar to that fight. And yeah, I knew he was going to come. We knew what his dangers were, but we also knew that I'd have too much in the end, and I just had to adjust through the fight and adapt through the fight, which is, I always say it's a sign of a good fighter. I've seen Hassan Azim do it in his fights, and he's adapted, and I've said the same thing to him, so that's something I had to do, so I have to give him a pat myself on the back for that.
No, you wanted to take a show down to Bournemouth for a long, long time. You had that in July against Usyk-Chamberlain. I remember speaking to you about kind of the feeling of doing that and how it felt different to this time. Explain the build up to this and then going out and being greeted by that Bournemouth crowd this time. Yeah,
it's mad how you go from a summer fight. Everyone's in a good mood in the summer anyway. They all want something to do. There was no football on then, so. The Bournemouth fans came out then in the summer, and they put on a show, and now we're here week before Christmas against someone who not even people in the boxing industry have heard of. Times are hard, it's cold out, but they still turned up, so I'm so grateful to the fans. I'm very, very fortunate to have them backing me.
Your manager Barry McGuigan came in and said that you've been in now the fight of the year, and that was the knockout of the year. Talk us through that shot in the fifth round. It's probably one of the best of your career, if not the best of your career.
Yeah, I think it's the best knockout of my career so far, which sets me up nicely. Good timing for it, I guess. But yeah, I hurt him with a right uppercut, which stunned him. Left it to the head, left it to the body after that. And then he was sort of you could see him wilting, and his guard was getting a bit looser. I've hit him with a couple more shots, and then he was wide open for that finishing shot, and thankfully he's okay. But yeah, it was a great finish.
Explain, if you can, the feeling of jumping up and down on the ropes and hearing everybody calling your name and chanting your name.
You've experienced it, haven't you?
Those ropes won't hold me.
No, I can't explain it. Like you can't explain that feeling. Like they're just. When your name's getting chanted like that, it's mad, and maybe that's why it's hard to switch on sometimes, because it feels like you're in a dream. But yeah, the fans are just unbelievable, and I'm so grateful to them.
Richard Riakporhe, watching from ringside tonight, your old mate, of course, Usyk-Chamberlain as well, another one of your previous opponents. But all of the talk into this has been about a world title against Jai Opetaia, the IBF champion. Is that the most realistic fight next for you?
Yeah, I hope so. We spoke about Jai Opetaia. Obviously his manager was here at the last one against Isaac. He wants to come over to England and fight. So I've been to Australia. I went travelling around there when I was 11 for 8 months, and I've seen it all. So he can come over here and he can see the best part of England, which is down here in Bournemouth, and he can give me his belt.
How difficult a fight is that for you?
Yeah, it's a difficult fight, but he's the man who beat the man in the division. So he went and beat Breedis at home, but Yeah, it's a hard fight, but it's a world title. It's you're not going to get an easy touch for a world title. You know, I mean, some people sometimes do, but it's when they're a world champion, you've got to go and rip the belt from them. And that's, I got into sport for achievements and challenges. I didn't get into it for money and picking up a belt against someone no one's ever heard of. So, bring him on.
Dean Court?
Absolutely, we've got to go there. Like I said, we've done 2 here now at the BIC, and the crowd have been phenomenal. So let's set out Dean Court and make my dream come true by winning the world title there.
We're now 8 days away from Christmas. What's the plans over the festive period now?
Off to Estonia with wife, little man, and brothers and their little ones and stuff. So mum and dad. So little family trip for Christmas and New Year, which will be amazing. But I'll very much be thinking about what's next for me. I can't switch off. So I'll probably be running out there, maybe in the snow, maybe a bit of Rocky 4 going on. Depending what the weather's like. but yeah, no, I'll be enjoying my diet for sure. You know, I'll be eating well, but I'll definitely be switched on and staying fit and training.
Okay, well, Chris Billam-Smith, congratulations again on a thunderous knockout win here in Bournemouth. A real example of the inside fighting that you were talking about on the George Groves Boxing Club podcast. Everybody, check that out on all of your podcast platforms. Chris Billam-Smith, congratulations once again. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you. Cheers, Rob. Appreciate it.